It's been a year since Tropical Cyclone Marcia bore down on the central Queensland coast, tearing apart homes and businesses. It left a damage bill of more than $500 million. Yeppoon and Rockhampton were in the eye of the storm and the clean-up is almost over. But the human recovery is ongoing.
Cyclone Marcia intensified quickly, crossing the coast as a Category 5, before smashing houses in Yeppoon. Tom and Rita Edmistone were about to celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary.
Yeah. I'm not going to be any good.
That's all right, we'll stop.
A year on, their house and their love is stronger than ever.
And what about the doors that shut themselves? Oh, unreal. A brand new house, dear.
Yeah.
We
look around, we just can't imagine.
There's not a thing in here that's not brand new.
They're among hundreds of families that have faced the slow task of rebuilding. Anthony White from Emu Park owned 3 churches. Now there's just 2.
We watched the church next door fall down, and after that church fell down, that was a bit of a windbreak for this church, and immediately this church started swaying.
The historical buildings were a community hub.
I felt like I let down the Emu Park community, and it was just very disappointing.
More than 39,000 insurance claims were lodged in the aftermath of Cyclone Marcia, and although 95% of those have now been finalised, the recovery is far from over. Pineapple growers are still counting the costs. Humid days after the storm wiped out 90% of harvest-ready crops.
That there's sunburnt like that. The fruit's that soft, you can just put your fingers through it.
But things are starting to look up.
Some of the crop is recovered very well, and we're harvesting quite good fruit this year.
And it's hoped hard work and community spirit will see the whole region through.
We've had mining downturn, we've had just generally some tough times in our community. What is amazing though is the community resilience.
Which no one wants to see cyclone tested again anytime soon. Elise Edwards, ABC News, Yeppoon.
The Mayor of Yeppoon, Bill Ludwig, joins me now. Thank you so much for your time this evening, Mayor. Cyclones have hit Yeppoon before, but was it the speed at which Marcia became a Category 5 that made it that much more devastating?
Karina, this is the first time in history that the BOM or anybody has seen a cyclone go through more than 2 categories in a 24-hour period. In this case, it went from a low through a Category 5 in the space of about 26 hours. So it was certainly a frightening and a challenging disaster to manage.
Do you think the area is now better prepared for a big cyclone?
Look, we've always been well prepared. We're well prepared for this one, apart from the fact that it escalated to a Category 5, and it's the first time that Category 5 has travelled this far south. One of the lessons we learnt was that we changed the rules. We opened the cyclone shelter as a precaution early, and that put us in good stead for what nobody expected to happen, and that was for it to go from the morning as a Category 2 to Category 5 by 8 p.m. that evening. So a lot of lessons learnt. We will be better prepared, but I've got to commend the SES and everybody else who was part of that response. It was sensational. We don't want to see it again in a hurry, but we are a more resilient community for those lessons learned.
Bill Ludwig, we thank you for speaking to us tonight.